What is up, Moody? What's good, bro?
What's up is my stomach. When I just went in there,
Yeah.
had to expel last night. So that's right. That's where like the cold sweats are coming from. If y'all can see this in high quality.
Yeah. that old DC bourbon that we were drinking yesterday.
Yeah. It was good though.
Oh yeah, it was like sweeter than I anticipated, especially when I just like smelled it from the bottle. I was like, woo, it's pretty strong for like some 86 proof. It smells strong, but then again, we mixed it with some cranberry and it was like, okay, this is pretty sweet, surprisingly. Let's get into some of these Percy's. We don't have anything on the deck, but I think I did bring up yesterday in our, I guess, pre-show productions. Next week, your season finally starts. NBA season finally comes back. And I know usually off pod, sometimes on the pod, we talk about our specific teams. You're a Rockets fan. I'm a Wizards fan and / Lakers fan. But outside of our specific teams, what are you most interested in for this upcoming season that you would be, I guess, for the year long, be keeping an eye out on?
Seeing Wemby in person.
Yeah.
Like, I would definitely pay to go to the Wizards game. Like I said, I'll sit in the 100 for Wemby.
Yeah.
Like just to see that up close.
Yeah.
And really, he's the biggest thing. I was like, man, Texas basketball is fucking scary right now. Like in the NBA. So I was like, you got Cooper Flag that's on the Mavericks and fucking Wemby just getting taller and stronger. Like, they actually updated his height too. Finally, because he came in and they were saying he was 7'3". Now he's listed 7'5".
Yeah.
And I'm like, Jesus, like we all know you're 7'5", dude.
It's funny because like on Basketball Illuminati, they were like, I don't think he was actually 7'3". I think they underlisted him, and he's probably actually like 7'7". But
yeah, he's at least
there's like
for
this
sure
notion
7'5".
of like you don't want to be pigeonholed as being like too tall because then you're just expected to play a certain position by the nature of your height. But yeah, it's like I said yesterday, Wemby, like I would watch. That's probably like the Spurs, and you said it's like not like a hot take or anything. I'm not trying to make it a hot take, but yeah, the Spurs would probably be my lead pass team just to see Wemby and just see like
Dylan Harper. They put a whole lot of good young talent over there.
Yeah,
Stephon Castle too. Like ain't either one of them coming off. And
how would you power rank the Texas teams?
I mean, as of right now, I would still have the Rockets first, but yeah, I'd say Rockets. Rockets, Mavs, Spurs.
Yeah,
that's how I'd rank it. But, I mean, Kyrie's still got to come back for the Mavericks too.
Yeah, and so you still have AD as well with that team with Cooper Flag. Like,
yeah, the forwards that they got is crazy between Flag and AD.
Yeah,
and you got Kyrie, a lob threat, and fucking Derek Lively Jr. Luka's old lob threat. It's like, bro, that's gonna be a problem. But once Victor's already looking less and less like Bambi. So it's like, that's the concern. It's like, holy
I'm
shit.
excited to see how, like, if he like fully like develops this year, or at least gets to that level where at least he's getting like votes for MVP. Like, I'm really curious to see how Victor Wembanyama plays out the season. And I was also thinking, I'm like, if the Spurs like end up being like the Spurs that we've kind of grew up to be as like one of the better teams in the NBA,
the beautiful basketball Spurs.
Who do you expect the team to be like Wemby's kind of rival, whether it be within conference or including the East? But who do you imagine when the Spurs are good and Wemby is like the MVP and everything like that? Who do you think would be like the rivalry that will be next to Wemby?
I think Ant is gonna catch a body for sure. Rudy Gobert is gonna be there much longer. Yeah. So really, this is I find it to be as long as they have a replacement for Rudy, I could definitely see that. I mean, Anthony Edwards and Wemby are going to be peaking at the same time in the West.
Do you think the Timberwolves are going to be able to keep up with the Spurs?
They've been in 2 Western Conference Finals already.
Well, I'm talking. That's now. I'm talking about depending on
within
3. If Wemby like reaches his peak in like 3 years,
I believe that Anthony Edwards will be Michael Jordan in 3 years or whatever equivalent. I believe that. So. Whether Rudy is there or somebody else, I mean, obviously there's 2 different positions, but as far as like being faces, yeah, for sure, it's them too.
Okay, that's what's up. Yeah, I didn't have anybody in particular. Obviously OKC because they're young and they can continue to grow, and in 3 years, like they still will all probably be less than 30.
Yeah. I mean, that's the rivalry everybody says is like confirmed already.
Yeah.
Is Chet and Wemby. Like that's a thing already. So, I mean, we'll be looking forward to that because Chet's 7'2".
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, it's crazy seeing these tall, skinny motherfuckers out here, you know, not so skinny anymore. What would scare me to death is that, like, you know, looking at Wemby's body, his shoulders aren't necessarily narrow. So, you know, he's going to fill out in his body. And I'm just thinking of, like, when I think about, like, the most brolic kind of center, Joel Embiid, like, once he filled out, like, could you imagine? If he became like, Joel Embiid size, like, muscle mass, I'd be like, there's nothing I mean, we can't already barely do anything with them, but it's like, yeah, that'll be Shaq level.
You don't think he could probably get to like the 80 level as far as like size, as far as like bulkness? Obviously, he's not.
Yeah, sure.
80 is not as tall as women. Yeah. Like it's like
because 80 is smaller than Joel. Yeah. So yeah, I'd say that. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, but like I said, man, a league pass team because the Wizards, I ain't got nothing to really care about for them this season.
Development.
I'm like, man, I would watch a random ass Spurs game in the middle of the winter.
Yeah.
On a weekday night. Just because I'm like, I'm just curious to see what Wemby does and how he plays, and just wanted to see that growth and development in him. The other thing I told you off yesterday was also I'm really curious to see how the NBA on NBC returns in form. And, you know, they got Michael Jordan being like a special analyst, and they got all these other players. They bringing back the classic intro, round ball, rock, and whatnot. But, you know, my issues, particularly with ESPN, was how they covered the NBA. Obviously, I think, you know, the TNT guys were doing a great job. But yeah, having the games go back to NBC, back on, like, you know, well, they've been on national, but I feel like there's a lot more national presence going, because they're about to, you know, when football ends, they're gonna have Sunday night basketball, like the same thing they do Sunday night football. So I'm really curious to see year one under the return of NBA on NBC, and if they really do kind of harken back to some of those early 2000s, late 90s, mid 90s like vibe of NBA. I hope so.
Yeah, I was gonna say I hope so too. I mean, we'll find out from our first game from the Rocket, the season opener. On NBC against the Thunder. We start the season. So
what day is that? Tuesday?
21st. Yeah, Tuesday.
Okay, cool. So yeah, that should be fun.
I'm gonna be locked in for that.
That's my Percy. Like I said, just outside of thinking about all regular teams, that will just be because, like, again, Wizards. You say development, I say everybody's on the trade block. There is nobody safe on that team.
Well, sure. I just mean that everybody's young too. Like, their stock is going up, if anything.
Sure. There's only one way to go up. You can hope you would hope for, and then the Lakers, like I said, I'm ready for the post LeBron era. So call me when the LeBron is not with the team. And again, it's nothing against LeBron. It's more so organizationally. I'm just like, I'm ready to like move past this era and see what we are doing as far as, like, especially with Luka being there. I want to see the team built around Luka rather than having to, you know, worry about like, oh, this is LeBron's last year and we're trying to maximize it to, you know, whatever degree and things of that nature. But that's my Percy. Getting ready for basketball season. You got anything?
Hey, no, that's just as good to be my Percy. So that's fine with me.
Let's get into this show.
Doors opening. Step back to allow customers to exit.
Wow, how much the hay? Samson, here with my next partner. A weekly stroll through the avenue of breath.
I was here on this YouTube channel. You know, this is like coming from drive all the everything.
What up, everybody? Episode 67 of the Wrestling Re-Up Podcast.
The Reggie McKenzie, Stan Brock, and Taj Gibson episode.
Yeah.
No Hall of Famers, but a bunch of 67.
Reggie McKenzie, I believe, is a Hall of Famer, or at least close enough to one.
Yeah.
I know I believe he was also NFL Players Association head at the time. So, like, you know, he put a lot pathways, you know, as far as like giving more players more, you know, opportunities and whatnot. But yeah, 67. We got, you know, getting out of these alignment numbers eventually.
Yes.
We'll still be in alignment in the 70s, but hopefully they pick up on the basketball side a little bit before we get into the 80s when we finally get back into some skill positions like the receivers and whatnot.
Yeah.
But pretty tame week. I feel like overall on the wrestling front, I think the bookends were pretty good, but the middle was pretty mid.
Yeah, I agree with that.
But let's get into the docket. We have some stuff before you get into the flagship show. Some quick recaps. Bound for Glory was over the weekend.
I was thinking, I mean, obviously we're talking about it now, but I was like, maybe we should, I mean, with TNA and NXT working together, maybe we should have put this under NXT.
Yeah,
but whatever.
It was a pop-up show.
Yeah, I get it.
We do our recaps on pop-up shows on the Monday. So, well, you had some notes on here.
Did I? Oh, okay.
Yeah, you're the one who put it on the Notion.
Yeah, I did. Man, yeah, the match of the year contender.
Yeah,
was exactly like I said it was going to be. Leon Slater and Javon Evans, and just like I'm not gonna say just because I definitely did not expect a breakup, but like it almost felt. Oh, of course it would end this way with Dark State coming to just fuck everybody up. And I'm like, oh yeah, this is too good for us to like have either one of them like take a loss right here. But it was just everything I wanted to be like the two best black luchadors that we got right now. And yeah, it was fucking amazing. Like high octane, like this is nothing but, like AEW would have had a fucking this is AEW's wet dream. The high flying fucking no, like, or as Fatu would say, all gas, no brakes. That's exactly what this was. Springboard into springboards. Like, there was a point when he's going for, Javon Evans is going for, that boy Bouncy, his jumping back cutter.
Yeah.
And then Leon Slater just catches him with his own springboard and catches him in a neck breaker as he's like coming down. I was just like, bro, are you kidding me? Like, it was insane. But that was absolutely amazing. As far as like the in-ring.
I think it will definitely get nominated, but I think it has the weakest chance of winning just for the inconclusive match. I think it's like that's a blower. And it's funny because like I didn't watch Bound for Glory in real time, but I was keeping up through it like on socials. It seemed like people were down on the show for a couple parts because they were booing at the end of this match because of the way it ended. Yeah. And there was another match that people were really tight about as well. I forget what was on the card, but
Steve Macklin, I didn't put it on here, but Steve Macklin also beat Kazarian for the international title.
Yeah, it was like they had tied, I think. I think Kazarian and they had tied, and they were both holding on into the like trophy at the end, and they didn't want to let go or something like that.
Oh, the Call Your Shot trophy. Yeah.
That's what it was. The Call Your Shot gauntlet match. I think that ended in some like really annoying. Yeah, there was dual winners with Nick Nemeth and Frankie Kazarian, and people were tight about how that ended, and they were like, it should have been somebody else that could have won it. So during the real time of it, I was like, oh damn, I guess like Bound for Glory is not really like hitting its mark. But then you go through the rest of the card and like watch the match, it's like, all right, it's actually a pretty good match. And then obviously the biggest thing that came out of it probably is the NXT a TNA guy finally brought home the title on the men's side with Mike Santana defeating Trick Williams for the TNA title.
Spinning the block. He had a real Cody versus, WrestleMania 40 kind of moment.
Yeah.
Where, afterwards you get like his daughter in the ring and he like kneels down to her and stuff, gives her the title. It was like super sweet. And it's just thinking like, obviously kids know that their parents are wrestlers, but you listen to like Cody talk about it, like, he's like a wrestling kid, like where kayfabe was protected for him. Most kids, I would imagine, kayfabe is not protected for them. So my thought immediately, because the girl's like, what, 10? Maybe she was probably like 9, 10.
Something
You see it? Yeah. And I'm thinking, like, what is running through her mind where it's like your dad is covered in blood right now?
Yeah.
Like, and plus, like, I think about all the times like my mom was like, oh, I need you to come to work with me. And it's like, nigga, I'm not trying to do that.
Yeah.
Like, so it's funny because in storyline, this is like the biggest, or not even storyline. This actually is Mike Santana's biggest win of his career so far. And I just couldn't get that out of my mind. Where it's like every time I see like the family moment, like that's not an adult.
Yeah.
I'm just like, that kid don't want to be there. Like, maybe they do, but
it's funny
I don't
because, like
know.
you said, she's probably old enough to understand the kayfabe and the
Yeah.
shoot of it. Because I remember Cody on his podcast with Randy, he was talking about how like his daughter doesn't really either Cody or maybe it was Seth, but like they don't like their daughter is like young enough that like she doesn't really understand what her dad does, and so they're like, oh yeah, like my dad he's a dancer. And like he dances and things of that nature, and it's like, okay, yeah, I can see how you can kind of interpret what I do as dancing and whatnot. But she's like 5, 6 years old. You know what I'm saying? She doesn't really understand quite yet. But no, that was a great moment. And another great moment was the Hardy Boys retaining their TNA tag team titles against the Dudleys in a last time match, which obviously was a great match as well, with a poetic ending.
And the Dudleys retiring, handing them their wrestling boots, and we get the effectively curtain call moment, you know, but we all knew that was going to happen, so we're not breaking kayfabe.
Yeah.
But even still, that was pretty cool to see. I think that was a winner take all, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So either way, I mean, they're still TNA and NXT champions, tag team champions. But that was TNA Bound for Glory, and there's some other matches on there. But that was the biggest notes that I had to put on here. And once again, as I constantly say, it's like, I put the notes on. I definitely did. I remember being at work.
It's like, did I do my Notion Doc stuff yet? And it's like, oh yeah, I did do it. Good job.
Yeah, that Leon Slater and Javon Evans is worth watching all the way up until the very end. And it's like, all right. Like you said, that definitely knocks it down a letter grade.
Especially with it being Dark State, is like, what is your even beef? Like why are you guys here?
Yeah. Y'all just some anarchists. Y'all just show because we was there at their debut and for NXT. I forget what that was, but you know.
And the match also ended first initially in the time limit draw, and then Santino had came out and was like, "Nah, we gotta finish this match." And so they restarted it, but then 5 minutes later, that's when Dark State comes out, and it's just like, yeah, I can see why the TNA audience was mad tight about the ending of that match.
Yeah,
especially when you got like something as great as what they were putting out for like the 30 minutes that they were out there. So that is it for the TNA Bound for Glory recap. So we can take ourselves straight into the flagship store for Monday Night Raw, and there's no way we can get past the biggest event that happened on Raw.
How about this in top shelf?
I have this as a primo. But the Vision, Bronson and Braun Security turn on Seth Rollins. Well, Braun Breaker first initially turned on it.
Say Braun turned on.
And I don't know if he bullied Bronson and Paul into it, but at the end of it, you have those three standing over top Seth Rollins, beaten and battered, who technically I think is injured.
Yeah. Because
of a spot over at Crown Jewel from the coast to coast headbutt that he did, or elbow drop. I forget what it was exactly. It was a headbutt, but like you mentioned when Seth had the knee injury back a couple of months ago, it's like, how can we take any injury seriously now if you can easily just fake it? So now you're trying to tell me, oh, but this one's real. Yeah. It's like,
and that takes the air out of the way.
How am I supposed to know? How am I supposed to believe?
And that's exactly why I was like, that I didn't like it in the moment, like him taking the crutches down and shit. And it's like, all right, so now injuries are just turned off. So okay, now you have to be indestructible. Oh, 2 months later, you know. So it's like that's a dangerous game you play. But I put this in top shelf just because it was sooner than expected. If anything, you know, I thought this was something that was just coming towards, you know, at least like next year. You know, like we were going to be building towards this. I did not expect to see that. Especially, I mean, because we get comfortable with, like, you know, when you have these factions that can carry it, whether it be Judgment Day or you know, MFTs, you know, carry a storyline for, you know, the episode of a show. If we were talking recently how it's gotten real repetitive, you know, with the Vision and stuff. So, yeah, I knew that, or they obviously know, they hear from fans like us. They knew that it was repetitive. Now, how much of this was in the plan versus how much of this is like Seth's injury, that remains to be seen. But either way, I like the call. And I mean, you know, Seth is selling his ass off for just specials, like in the moment. So like, and similarly, you know, when he was like punching the ground for taking all those tsunamis, he was like, you know, kicking his feet like I don't know how I would imagine that, like Sonic the Hedgehog or something, like as he's like deviled over, like holding his abs, after taking a spear. And yeah, I enjoyed it. That was after the main event. Because we get the turn off the good, executive producer
Yeah,
spot,
you get
Lee
the credits
Fitting
and all the stuff. That was
Paul
you think
Levesque.
the show's almost over, and then all of a sudden, wham!
Yeah, exactly. And I wouldn't classify it as a bullying. I mean, sure, Paul Heyman, you can say, all right, maybe he like bullied him into it because he's a non-combatant. But Bronson Reed wasn't bullied. He's because they're really good with the mic work. You can hear what he said, and he's like, make a choice. You're either with me, and then he just says or, and then that's it. Like he doesn't say anything, and then Bronson just tsunamis him. So he takes it upon himself to do that. But yeah, I like the image of Paul Heyman raising both of their arms, and not for nothing, like just to echo Kaz from Ringer Wrestling. It's like, yo, these guys be around for a long time. It's like some of these top dudes got to shit or get off the pot. That was the phrase that he said. I was like, oh yeah, that's a good way to put it. Because it's not like we don't know that Braun is gonna be one of the future heavyweight champions. You know what I'm saying? If not WWE champion. So
at least put him in that branch.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Like have him in that range of people that legitimately could be contenders and whatnot for the World Heavyweight Championships or like the top tier major titles and whatnot. The reason I think
you did that with the turn just now. Like you just speared the champion and you held his belt over his head. You just put yourself in the main event.
The reason I have this as a primo rather than a top shelf, though, I think is to some of the points that you made. I'm not sure how much of this was forced because of even outside of the injury. There was apparently talk going on last week that there was on socials, Fire Triple H was trending, and they were making adjustments to their creative staff and whatnot because of some of the backlash as far as like how WWE's product has been kind of running. So it's like, is this a response?
Yeah.
Because it is, like I said, there have been little sprinklings of Braun kind of feeling a little irritated with Seth, but it didn't feel, like I said, it felt a little quick.
Yeah,
which I'm not upset at it because it kind of played off really well. It was very surprising. Again, this show was at 8:00 in the morning because they were in Australia. So by the time I found out, it was like 11 o'clock, and I'm like, oh snap! Like that's crazy that I had. I was like, I gotta actually watch this through the show, and I was like, oh damn! Like that was actually done really well. But the reason I have a primo is I'm not sure how much of this was. I don't know the circumstances. This didn't feel like a natural progression in the storyline. It felt, to your point, rushed, and I'm not sure if that's because of the injury. It's obviously probably it could be all three and plus more for the reasons why it happened now rather than later. But obviously the turn was going to happen. It was done well, and I'm intrigued about where it moves forward. Is this lead to CM Punk and Seth Rollins having to team up against Braun and Braun Security? I don't know, but like that's where like the intrigue level raises it up from a mid to a primo, but it tops out at a primo and not a top shelf for me because I think there was just a lot of background influence as to why we're doing it now rather than later. And that's where it feels a little bit of rushed and we didn't have a lot of meat to chew on prior to that to be like, oh, we see what's going to be happening, which obviously you don't want that to be the case all the time, but it didn't feel organic in a sense. It almost felt like it was done for shock factor. One of the reasons might have been done was just for the shock factor. We're trying to get ahead of some of this critiques that we've been having for the last couple months about our product being kind of stale. Seth is hurt and this, that, and the third. It just seems like there was more outside factors rather than storyline factors that made this the reason why they went with this direction. So I'm still very high on it. Just not as high to put it in top shelf.
It's funny because maybe I should bring it down to primo. I forgot once again. I'll be filling this out and looking back at it because I got specifically in the Reggie is Colby's injury. That's what I put. So it's like because it is you can't have one without the other. Type of situation. But yeah, exactly like we mentioned before.
And we don't even know if Seth's gonna be because they say he's gonna be out for months. Is he gonna be dropping the title? Like what is happening?
Exactly.
So
are you actually hurt, Colby? See, now this is the question. This is the fucked up part. So and that was also after the main event. That was the one thing that we agreed on as far as our mid. CM Punk winning the #1 contendership.
Yeah, though I kind of wanted LA Knight to win, but I don't mind CM Punk winning it.
Yeah.
Like it kind of makes sense. Even
So-
though again, like we've had the CM Punk, Seth Rollins for going on 3 years now.
Mhm.
It's like, okay, like can we take a break a little bit? We said it last time when they were feuding, and it's just like, okay, but I mean, you can't go wrong with these guys in the ring together. So
Yeah, and that also makes it interesting because, like, yeah, once again, if Kobe's actually hurt, then it's like, what is that number one contendership?
it's not a number one contendership, and now it's Braun Breaker versus CM Punk
Oh,
for
okay. For a vacant title.
For a vacant title. That's what I would imagine.
Sure. Yeah. My primo that I had, I really enjoyed. Dom
Yeah.
retaining against Penta,
Mm-hmm.
and just all of his shenanigans on top of shenanigans. We're doing,
Mm-hmm.
the best bag of Eddie lie, cheating, and stealing as a heel still. But even just the taking the what is it, the ring bell hammer.
Yeah,
And
that was clever.
Yeah. So that's why I was primo, just because it's
Yeah.
the cleverness of it. Because I'll tell you, I like a good specific weapon. Like, you know what I'm saying? So it's like we were talking about how we like the ring bell. So the fact you took the hammer, and we know, like, obviously, I mean, I don't know how much that thing weighs. I'm sure it's not that fucking heavy, but it's probably metal, and you slide into your boot, 619 double damage.
Yeah,
Okay, that makes sense. Yeah,
makes
exactly.
sense.
So
honestly, like I have it at mid right now, but I think the reason I have it at mid is because I'm like, it's the same Dominic that we always see, and then there was the interference with Rusev and whatnot. It was just like, I wish it was a little bit cleaner. And again, like I'm trying to figure out like how does Dominic lose his title, and who is he losing it to? Is it going to be to Penta? Is it going to be to Rusev?
That's a good question.
So,
Penta, yeah.
but I would say like overall, like again, just the match itself, I think I probably would raise it up to a primo because I really did enjoy it. And again, Dominic does what he's supposed to do as his character is written. So like he does it amazingly well.
Yeah.
Again, the hammer, taking the hammer, then what was it? He had the belt as well, kind of dropped it, which made the ref kind of have his back turned so he could put it away. And then the whole dynamic of it was really done well. That I think I would raise it up from the mid that I originally wrote to a primo.
Yeah. And then the shakes that we had, you agreed with both of mine. Rhea over Kyrie.
Mm-hmm.
That was expected. And then I had to put I said Lyra and Bailey getting the win over Judgment Day girls.
Yeah.
Raquel and Roxanne. And as I was watching this is immediately where I had the thought. I was like, damn, I miss Liv. Hurry up. Just get back already. Because, I mean, not the fact that it's not even anything to do with, like, I like Roxanne and Raquel. It was actually me thinking about Lyra and Bailey's storyline, but I just wanted, like, Liv to come hit Oblivion on one of them and, like, win this match for him or whatever. Because, like, they still, like, even though Judgment Day is in a holding pattern, or the girls, since losing the titles, they're still great. So nothing against them, but it's the Lyra and Bailey thing, where I felt Lyra and Bailey, their storyline. But we're telling the story of this.
You didn't like when Lyra smacked Bailey and then Bailey snapped into her?
No. I didn't like that. No. I understood what was happening, but I was just like, all right, like now, like I said, the only way that this makes sense to me is if, like we're gonna have to do a 3 Faces of Foley situation. Like that's where this is gonna end up. But if that's the case, I need you to change your ring attire also. So that's where I'm at with it right now, because this whole in your head and you still look exactly the same, Pam. So like
maybe she just has a split outfit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, sure.
Like,
she comes out looking like Two-Face, half white, half black suit. Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, I agree on both those. Like entertaining enough, but like they were not bad. Just okay. Like it was kind of run of the mill.
Yeah.
Kind of content. Anything else?
That's it from the flagship.
From the flagship? No, nothing else. Okay, we can move straight over to the Bodega NXT.
Yeah, you can leave me in this because I did not.
It wasn't really much. I honestly didn't have anything here. The biggest thing I had was Tatum Paxley winning the Battle Royale to become the number 1 contender for JC Jane's NXT Women's Championship. not someone that I expected to win the match, but it was cool. I think she also fits the Halloween Havoc theme of like the horror girl. I'm not sure what her relationship is with Lyra. But Lyra came out and kind of celebrated with her. I guess they were cool before Lyra.
Yeah, Tyra. That was their tag team name back before Lyra came. But,
okay.
My favorite women's finisher in NXT is Tatum Paxley, the Psycho Trap.
Yeah.
So
I read somewhere that she's like actually like pretty strong, and like she's like power lifts and whatnot, and like she outdid like Bianca's record in like the performance center as far as like squats and benching and things of that nature. So I'm like, okay, maybe I think it's her, or maybe
look at those traps.
Maybe it's Izzy Dame. Like, one of them is like super strong.
Immediately, I would say Zarya. Yeah, it's like okay, yeah, she looks like brolic as fuck.
Yeah, that was pretty much the main highlight from NXT for me, and then everything else was I really didn't care for. Yeah, like I guess the only thing I had in shake here was like, oh, OTM's back.
Yeah, so now Jada Parker got her.
You think she's gonna be hanging with them? Come on now.
They was really trying to make all like, and she was pulling. She's dragging them two niggas around.
She don't know them. She don't know them niggas anymore, bro. Like that is they got to work their way up to her level.
Yeah, right. And then the shake I had was honestly just set up for Halloween Havoc's the other two matches that we had announced, which was Ricky Saints talking to the Trick Williams Titantron, clearly pre-recorded message, So they're gonna have the match for a Halloween Havoc for the NXT title, and then Dr. Wagner III is challenging Ethan Page for the North American title. Also.
Yeah, in the Day of the Dead match. So I wonder how that's gonna end. Yeah, maybe it's a no contest.
I mean. That's the thing. Like
it's for the North American. It's not like a title for title. So I guess. So
that's right. Because I remember once again, it shouldn't even end in a no contest because it's a Day of the Dead match. But then again, if a Hell in a Cell can end in a no contest, then anything can. So I'll never forgive that. That was insane.
You just said there's no disqualifications, and so it should. So I guess,
you should keep going. Like. If they're both dead on the ground, guess what? The first person to get up and like cover the other one wins. Like that's what it is. But that's all I had. Yeah. That was
Josh Briggs ended up getting a win over Matt Cardona. Surprise.
Oh yeah. That was actually my Reggie. That's what I missed. Because I was like, yeah, put that in here. Matt Cardona returning to WWE just to job to Josh Briggs. That was Because like he got the biggest pop when he showed up in the fucking crowd as far as part of being TNA.
Yeah, but that's what you do because Josh Briggs has like really like atomic heat right now with the crowd that like to beat a fan favorite like that on his like return. It's like, that's how you continue to build heat with Josh Briggs. I don't necessarily hate it. I probably put it as a shake, but obviously I would rather have Matt Cardona win that match than Josh Briggs win it. But I guess that's the intent. Like we want to keep building heat on Josh Briggs. So I'm not mad at it.
Yeah, I just said like a month ago or whatever it was. I was like, man, Shawn Michaels is doing his damnedest to make me care about Josh Briggs. So it's just a continuation of that. I get it. It's just like, man.
Anything else from the bodega? No. I said it was a pretty lame show. No. It was a pretty lame show. Before we head into the coffee shop for Dynamite, there was some news going around about Andrade. Apparently, he's not supposed to be on TV. I think he was off TV this past week. And there was rumor that is like it's unclear whether he has a non-compete going on right now on his WWE contract that says it's not supposed. They said that even people at WWE said that he's technically they don't believe that he has a non-compete, but there's something with being a non-compete. So for the fact that he was on TV on AEW is probably like some type of issue.
A breach,
and so it's very unclear at the moment. I believe like what his situation is, but that's just been kind of the rumor mill going on right now. Is that
because we had his return, and then immediately after the return, attacking Kenny Omega, we just don't see him at all for the next week and a half on Collision or Dynamite.
Yeah.
So
I mean, here are two things both from PW Insider that was posted. It says, paraphrased, since Andrade was outright cut, belief from WWE sources was that there was no 90-day period. WWE informed Andrade after appearances that the 90-day period he was still in effect, even though he would not be getting paid. The WWE source said that said that this had to be enforced because they wouldn't allow someone to be fired and then immediately wrestle somewhere else. And then the other PW insider is that the word is making the waves then the Lucha Circle today is that Andrade could be kept out for 1 year by WWE contractually due to breach of his WWE deal when he was terminated. That would be subjected to whether the stipulation of his WWE deal could be challenged successfully legally. So take that for what it's worth. But I was like, again, I don't really pay too much attention to it, but because I'm like, oh damn, like I said, and I saw him 2 weeks ago, like part of the Don Callis family, I'm like, hold up, like that, because I jumped in halfway through the show. I was like, hold up, that's Andrade.
Yep.
And I was like, he was just on WWE like
Literally
2
last
weeks
week.
ago.
Yeah.
Like that's crazy to just like flip over, but like we've seen it done before. But yeah, what are your thoughts on Andrade in this whole situation?
Complicated legal matters. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, I mean, we can only go off of how we believe or like what other insiders are telling us as far as like WWE contracts work.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like, and the simple definition that I got is like, you know, a release is with your non-compete, and then a firing, you don't have a non-compete. So I guess that's where the gray area is. Is like, yeah, he got fired, but it was so early in the contract or whatever it is that like there still ended up being a violation. So
all I can tell you, whenever he is able to get back on TV, we are going to have that match, that moment during whatever Don Callis family match where the lights go out and then the lights come back on, and then you see Andrade with his mask on, and then he does the goddamn spinning.
Oh, the fucking kick up, spinning elbow.
Yeah, the spinning elbow thing with him, and ends up helping somebody from the Don Callis family win whenever that happens in a few months. But yeah, any more thoughts on that?
No.
Okay.
He'll be all right. Even if like, let's say it is kind of complicated with AEW. I mean, AEW, they have a working relationship with CMLL, where Andrade is one of the biggest guys in CMLL. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's also just one of their, you know, marketing plays, very similarly to, you know, WWE.
Yeah, and AAA.
Exactly, and AAA. Because, I mean, Santos Escobar, watch him join the Don Callis family. You know what I'm saying?
He recently got let go as well. Oh, no, he was rumored to be let go and then eventually re-signed with WWE.
But yeah, that's my only thought. I think it's a lucha play for AEW more than anything with CMLL.
Well, let's see what happens. Let's get into this coffee shop. You are much higher on this show. This is again this is the same level as like NXT this week, where I'm like, all right, nothing really happened much for me. So
yeah, I mean, and then one of these primos is also just fandom for me, because Harley Cameron's one of my girls, and she lost this match.
Yeah,
and it only went like 6 minutes, but she kicked out of Faith Descent. Yeah. She's the first woman to kick out of Faith Descent, or well, her and Toni Storm are the only two. So just off of that, where I was like, yo, Harley Cameron's out here putting in work, or she's trying to. So I really wanted her to win. So I put it in. It's a primo for effort, really, for Harley Cameron. This is really probably realistically a mid at best.
Yeah.
But
I mean, I think the Bleacher Report grades, they gave that match an A.
Did they? That's a great match.
I'm looking back on it right now.
Yeah, just the fact like Harley Cameron, she's been trying.
Yeah, they gave it A-.
Yeah, no, it was great. That was a great a tight 7 minutes, you know. And I'm willing to say her definitely Harley Cameron's best match on television. So, and then my actual other real hard primo was just the whole build for the I Quit match.
Yeah,
but specifically in this episode, because we're talking about week to week, was the Mox and Darby prison vignette.
Yeah, sure.
I like that. I really like. And once again, I'm always caping for vignettes. However, why are you in a prison?
Because he had a weapon of mass destruction last week with the.
Oh yeah, he got arrested. That's right. Yeah, that's fucking awesome. That's why. So I'm like, why is he in prison?
Yeah, I thought the same thing. I'm like, this is a little cheesy to me. And then I was like, okay, you had a Molotov last week, and we talked about you can't do that, nigga. That's 5 to 10.
Yeah.
So I'm like, that kind of makes sense, but at the same time, I'm like, how the hell that was Willa? You did that jump him?
No, that was Pac.
Okay. Either way, how is he on the other side?
And that's writers do what they want. They got connections, I guess.
I guess he was cool with one of the prison guards. Like what?
Yeah, I'm willing to believe in kayfabe. Moxley is like Boss. I mean, we was just watching a Life watch along.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like the motherfucker that steals the watch.
Yeah,
like
yeah,
40
yeah.
years later. But yeah, just like it really invoked like a old school like a 80s cop movie.
Mhm.
You know, just grimy and shit. Like, and of course, I mean, both of these guys are fucking amazing promo. Where
Yeah.
I have to like constantly remind myself where it's like Darby is the underdog, but he's so crazy
Mhm.
that it doesn't feel like he is. But then this vignette reestablished that for me like very clearly. I enjoyed it a lot. So there you go. There's your primos for me. Maybe I should go back and watch Megan Van and Harley Quinn. I'll give that another appreciation.
We agree on our mids.
Yeah. To start the show, the Tony and Stat opening interview / brawl. I really like it because with both of them being faces, the dynamic that they have of like Stat saying how like so the second that she got the belt, she was like, "Oh, I'm a fighting champion" and shit like that. And it's like, okay, you just got the belt. I understand what you're saying here, but this is the best illustration of being a fighting champion. Like, oh no, we can just go like right now.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? So
the best part I liked about this segment was the fact that they were in a backstage interview with Renee, and then they were like, "Are we done with this?" And they're like, "Yeah." She was like, "Meet me in the ring," and then they immediately went to the ring. And I'm like, "All right, that's pretty dope." You don't really typically see that continuity from like a promo from backstage like that, a sit down interview like that actually just ends up them in the ring. Didn't really understand of just like, hit me with the title belt. No, hit me with the title belt. I was just like, okay.
How bad do you want it? I guess that's the only way to say it. That's why it's confusing because they're both faces. So it's like you're trying to. It's mind games with the other one. I imagine. I'm willing to get. Tony gets crazy points. She's definitely winning in the crazy department, so she would be more likely.
Yeah,
I think to hit Stat with it than the other way around. But yeah, I mean, we ended off with basically a hug or handshake, effectively.
Yeah.
You know, so just two women that are honorable, you know, fighting for the title, and they got to figure it out. And then, the other men, I got Kenny and Jurassic Express beating Don Callis family.
Yeah.
It was Hechicero, Mark Davis, and who was this last person? Was that Kyle Fletcher?
No.
Oh no, it was Rocky Romero. That's who
Okay.
it was. This was the standard trios. This is like where you get into like the realm of like when you talk about like the party matches that they could just do every week. I mean, there is more of a story here with like, I mean, Jurassic Express and like, or the Young Bucks not fucking with, you know, Jurassic Express, and I think we're gonna have that match.
That's this weekend.
That is,
that's
WrestleDream.
Yeah, for $500,000.
Okay.
What I was curious out of this mostly because the match is the match. Like AEW does great with trios matches. I was more intrigued by the Kenny Omega relationship with Jack Perry, and I'm like, you know the lore a lot deeper than I do on the AEW side. I'm like, it seemed like Kenny didn't really fuck with Jack or trust Jack in that sense because there was times where he's like, it looked like he didn't want to tag in. And then Kenny was about to take a move by one of the Don Callis family members. And then Jack ends up pushing him out the way and ends up taking the bump.
Yeah.
Then you get the Young Bucks to come out and they are about to hit Jack Perry with the Meltzer driver or the Tony driver.
Yeah.
And Kenny pulled Jack off of it and saved him, and he was about to get super kicked, and then the Young Bucks were like, "Oh snap, my bad." I didn't realize.
To kick you
so I'm like, I'm curious to see where Kenny is in all of this stuff. I'm not too familiar with the lore because I know the relationship between Kenny and the Bucks. I'm not entirely sure what the relationship with Kenny and Jack is.
Yeah, I'd say
maybe because Jack was a dick for like the last year and a half, and
yeah, that's basically what it would be. Okay. It's like I remember that was like he came up with a heel character, like he was like scapegoat, you know, Jack Perry. There was like the whole CM Punk like fallout and shit like that. So post that, he comes back and like the Young Bucks had turned on Kenny.
Okay.
At that point, I'm pretty sure he aligned with them. So now it's like a double. Oh, you're a fucking good guy again. So that's why the Bucks are trying to fuck him up. So if I remember correctly, that's my loose memory.
Okay, but yeah, I'm more intrigued by the Kenny aspect of it than the match was the match. It was good, but again, like with AEW, you kind of have to be like, all right, you kind of have to outdo yourself. Same thing when like Sammy is like running these open challenges. Like we can easily put these matches as primo every week, but I'm like, some matches are going to be a tad bit. You got to be a very harsh grader in that sense when you are just continuously putting on great matches every week like that.
For sure.
Anything else?
Well, yeah, just the last two shakes. The Ops retained the trios titles against LFI, and the Demand actually beat the Hurt Syndicate.
Yeah, through some heel interference from Ricochet and whatnot.
Clean as a heel. That's a clean win.
I am though, like again, great match, entertaining match. I thought we was done with this.
We will be. We're about to be tonight. I mean, that's what this is.
I hope so. Because it seems like a little excessive. But
that was AEW the coffee shop, though. Unless you got any other thoughts.
No, like I said, the middle of the week was pretty. You didn't miss much, I would say, in the middle of the week. But let's get into the gallery and the Book of Wrestling. Book of Wrestling. We have 3 on the docket. As
we got 2 matches and 1 moment.
I'll talk about the moment.
Yeah.
October 13th, 1997, the birth of D-Generation X. On Raw, the faction of Shawn Michaels, Chyna, Triple H, and Rick Rude officially dubbed themselves as D-Generation X for the first time whilst interrupting an in-ring interview segment with Vince McMahon and the Hart Foundation. The origin of the DX name has often been debated over the years. Bret Hart claimed that the New York Post columnist and frequent critic of the WWF, Phil Mushnick, came up with the name when he described the late 90s wrestling fan base mainly from the Generation X demographic as degenerates. However, in the autobiography of Shawn Michaels, it was claimed that it was then WWF head writer Vince Russo who came up with the name of the faction.
Very interesting. Yeah, where does that come from? But it's like, just listening to that second part where it's like, oh, the New York Post columnist, and I'm like, that makes sense to me. Just because it's, on the note, even as a kid, I'm like, I understood what Generation X was.
Yeah.
So D-Generation X is just like, oh, yeah, that's what this is. They are older than us. So.
And Bret Hart a few months earlier than that, too. I think, again, because this is, Bret got it from, I guess, the New York Post right away. He said it in a promo before they were even like a faction, saying that, like, oh, you guys are nothing but a bunch of degenerates. And, kind of just, I guess, boiled over from there at that point. But hey, one of the greatest factions ever to be made with an iconic, t-shirts, music, hand chops, all that shit. Everybody still does the DX aspect of it. So shout out to DX.
Shout out to Joel Embiid doing
right.
DX cross chop in 2024 still, or 2025, whenever he's on the court. And then the 2 matches we got, the older one first. Also a historic moment, really more than anything. No Mercy, 99. Chyna breaking the glass ceiling, and it was on the way out the door for Jeff Jarrett, the Intercontinental Champion, who ends up dropping the title and is the only woman to ever hold a men's title, because we're not counting 24/7. That was like a unisex, like, bonus comedy title. So, to actually hold a legit, like, workers title, Chyna did that. So.
And it's funny that I think Jeff Jarrett was also holding up Vince McMahon. That's the rumor too, because he was like, I wanted my money and stuff like that. Yeah. And he was like, I'm not going to be losing this belt. It was some behind the scenes stuff with Vince and Jeff Jarrett on this too. That's why, like, Jeff Jarrett really didn't come back to the WWE for a good amount of time because of from that. But shout out to the legend Johnny Lawler, Chyna. Rest in peace.
And we got the good old Ring of Honor. Thank goodness, like, uploading the whole match too. This is a whole hour 10. But CM Punk, Samoa Joe 2 for the Ring of Honor title. They go to a time limit draw. Hate to ruin the end for you, but it's one of those times where I say it's like, hey, when you're just having a great match and you're telling that story of like, or either you can't beat me or we can't beat each other, like, that can work, as far as building. And this is one of the times when it does. I've watched this match before, and it's obviously fucking
Yeah, I
awesome.
feel like
so.
we watched this match before too.
I might have put it on the Book
Yeah.
of Wrestling before, maybe, but yeah, that's it. It's been a while, so
Hey, 1 year anniversary, if that is the case.
yeah, maybe, yeah.
Let's get into the boutique SmackDown. Pretty good show.
Yep.
I think you had the highest one. I have this as Primo. You have this as Top Shelf.
Mm-hmm.
Sami Zayn, U.S. Open Challenge, about the 5th week.
Yeah, a pretty short open challenge.
Yeah, and he is dethroned by a returning Ilja Dragunov.
The Mad Dragon. Yep.
And Ilja Dragunov, you said it before the match started. You were like, man, I hope Ilja Dragunov wins this out. And I immediately shut it down. And then 10, 15 minutes later, you were like, yo, Ilja, because I was inside in the kitchen. And you were like, yo, Ilja Dragunov just won the U.S. title. I was like, and I heard the pyro in the background go off. I was like, oh, you're not bullshitting me. He actually did it. So,
and it was that was also
outside of that small interference, which wasn't interference.
That's
like
what I was gonna say.
Not Jacob Solo comes out and
that's Sammy's awareness going down. That's what that is. That's not on anybody but Sami.
Yeah,
because it's like you are a multiple time champion, like vet. You know what I'm saying? You know better than this. You got a man in the ring with you. He ain't about to hold up. So we get, Torpedo Moscow and then the H-bomb.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3. I'm just like, holy shit. And what was sick though is that he went for the H-bomb earlier in the match, which are you aware of this? It's just his jumping and it's a diving like forearm to your face basically. Yeah. And he went to go do it, and then Sami just perfectly, how you're expecting like somebody does a moonsault and they get the knees up. So he just lifts his boot up and like, man, Ilja ate all of that shit, like fucking kicked his fucking nose off for a second. I was like, holy shit. I was like, man, Ilja's at 100% for sure. Like, that man must be healthy as a bitch. So he got the good old Stone Cold brace on, for the knee. But yeah, he looked great though, and he's the new U.S. champion.
Why do you have this at Top Shelf?
Because Top Shelf, like I said, is just like when I think about knee jerk, like uppy nominees, and obviously there's so many. Like I'm like, we need to like tighten it up, for the categories. But immediately thought like Return of the Year, because OMG Moment of the Year is already locked up. That's Seth like dropping the crutches and cashing in. That's the OMG Moment of the Year for sure. But yeah, Return of the Year. I'm trying to think of like.
I would need to go back to the
returning and winning a title.
Yeah. I don't think anybody's done that this year.
So. Yeah, so that's what immediately came to my head was like Return of the Year. If that's a category that definitely would be up there. So
I had this Primo,
and the match was obviously fucking A. Well, it's like Sami like the whole open challenge was great shit the entire time.
I would say this has a better shot of being Top Shelf than the Vision turning over.
Yeah, I agree with that.
On Seth, just for the fact that this was genuinely unexpected.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm expecting Sami to at least hold his U.S. title belt till at least January. And so the fact that, like, again, this has only been 5 weeks and again, bangers every week.
Yeah, every single week.
You know what I'm saying? His matches are literally could be primos every week. I just got to be a stickler on grading and be like, all right, it's honestly is probably a primo, but I'm putting it at mid just because I'm like, I'm not going to put every goddamn match as a primo. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, I'm trying to be a little bit of selective here, but no, the surprise alone factor, and again, doing it on a return, like I said, this is if a primo is if a Top Shelf is like a 5, I would say this is like a 4.75. It's.
I feel comfortable bringing down the Vision turn to a primo. Like if I'm picking one thing, it would be this for sure. But yeah, it was a dope ass match. Then my primo. Just for the moment of it was funny because watching this in the moment together, like because Jacob Fatu gets taken out, bloody gums Fatu is what like Drew says, and he's like, all right, just name me the number 1 contender then. And then Cody's like, nobody came here to hear you talk. Let's give him a match right now then, since you want your title match. And immediately I said this, and then I was like, Cody, you're not dressed for this. You're in your suit and shit. Like, what are we doing here? And then he just does the most thug shit ever where I said, oh, he just said, fuck it. Drew has got the upper hand. Drew is beating his ass like into the timekeeper area. And then Cody says, fuck it, grabs the title and hits him in the head with it. And I'm like, oh, shit.
Yeah.
Like,
not typically what you see from a face.
well, that's why I had to be a primo because I'm like, I like it.
Yeah.
I mean, yes, that is a heel move, but you talking about in the context of like, I already got a history with Drew. If I'm Cody, I have a history with Drew. You're annoying as shit, and I beat you for the title already. So the fact that you're out here, I mean, everybody knows that's his character's complaining and shit. So it's like, I'm just coming out here to beat your ass. I really didn't want to like give you a title match, but if this is what I got to do, and I think it's even in character, I think it's a company man thing where it's like, well, I'm not going to let them not have a match.
Yeah.
That's how I think like Cody the character thought.
Sure.
So the fact that he was like, all right, I'll give him a match, and then halfway through the match, he's like, man, fuck that. Exactly.
I'm not even dressed. What am I thinking?
It's a complete, not a character change, but I can see the character's thoughts. And that's why I was like, oh, that's awesome. Like,
I originally had this written as a mid, but yeah, as we talk it through, I'm bumping that to primo.
Yeah, I don't need this shit.
Yeah, that was fun and unexpected. Especially, you said it beforehand. You knew that you found out that Jacob.
Fatu was hurt. Yeah,
had a legitimate injury, and so he was going to be written off the match. I'll bump that up to a primo, and I'll say this is my third primo. I'm going to bump this up. Is I'm not even going to. You have it as MFTs making their presence felt face off with Wide 6. Mm-hmm. I'm just going to say Solo.
Yeah.
In general, is primo. Solo these last 2 weeks
episode,
has been great. I love this week as well when he was talking to Ray Phoenix in the back while Ray Phoenix was getting his pictures taken and stuff like that. He's like, yo, man, just wait your turn. And then they ended up jumping him. And then just Solo as this kind of like mob boss figure. And then you got now the face painted, you know, MFTs and stuff like that.
They actually look like GOA.
Yeah, it fits really well. They really feel like a presence on the show, not even just within whatever storylines that they're working on, but across the entire show. Like, I can't wait to see Solo and his MFTs, you know, get in a rivalry with Cody. Like, I can almost see the MFTs with their face paint and everything almost being a better version of Dark State.
Yeah, I see that. I mean, sure. I mean, we care about them way more, and then
they're better wrestlers.
I mean, that's true. That's definitely true. But I was gonna say
saying a lot too when you got Tonga Loa.
Yeah, man. And I mean, so far with the only thing
or Tama, I forget which one.
No, Tama Tonga is the one that we like, and then it's Tonga Loa. That was like, bro, you've been ass from the beginning. Like, his debut, you botched, bro. Yeah. You're supposed to pull the ref out the ring and you botched it. Like, we're just happy
up on low blows and shit.
Yeah, like, I'm like, bro, what are you doing? Like, you are ass, my guy.
Yeah, when I saw Tama talking back and he was doing
he was still doing it. Yeah. I mean, even like Tala Tonga,
he looked good with the shades too.
Yeah. He's the only one that, I mean, he has only one move in his moveset, which is Big Boot. Yeah. So far, so.
Is Jason Mateo still there?
Yeah, Jason Mateo's there. He's painting his face too.
Okay.
Like, then at the end of this match, I mean, they ran the specials through everybody. We got to see Tour of the Islands, Big Boot, like everybody hit everything. So
yeah, and like I said last week, they look like a legitimate threat to dethrone the Wide 6. It's funny how what face paint could do for somebody. I'm like, if they were just in their normal, you know, presence without the face paint, I'm like, you're just like any other tag team going against these supernaturals. But now it feels like supernatural versus supernatural, and I'm like, okay, the battle of supernaturals, who's going to win? You know, so I like Solo. Period is primo.
Okay, and then my other mid I had was MCMG getting the win over Los Garzas. The match was just good.
Yeah, I would probably have this as Shake because they did say that this was like our first match on Smack because it was MCMG's 1 year anniversary.
Oh yeah, they did say that, and they was
the first team that they beat was the Los Garzas. So I'm like, okay, so you just did the exact same shit you did a year later.
Yeah, I mean, it just so happened. Like, I mean, we're still on the same show, so it's like, and then Alex Shelley is like, hey, might as well make it an annual tradition, right? So it's just. Oh, whoops! Did I just fucking move all that shit?
Everything just got moved.
Like, I don't know how. Oh yeah, I don't know how that happened. But down to Shake, we got. Oh, I had the tag team champions, women's tag team champions retaining. over Zaruka, which we got a Blake Monroe distraction. Where we clearly getting a Zarya and like Blake kind of rivalry because also this week on NXT didn't say it, but Blake beat Zarya in a one-on-one match because she like jabbed her in the throat with a hairpin. So it's like that was pretty sick. So.
I did like the continuity in that storyline as far as like the friction between Zaruka, or I guess Zarya not feeling like Zaruka has her back all the time, and then Blake Monroe playing the constant antagonist. So I did like that. Surprised that Zaruka took the L against Charlotte. I didn't think that we would kind of get that. Obviously, Charlotte is Charlotte.
Yeah.
She can beat anybody, and it's not a surprise. But I thought that they were gonna obviously build up to like eventually like a one-on-one match between Zaruka and Charlotte. That you wouldn't want her to take this loss like this early. Or have this on her ledger, basically.
I get that she's Surfer Charlotte, but I think I don't know if I don't think we would build towards that match, just in the sense of like it's such a wide gap.
Yeah,
like
for now, yeah.
Yeah, for now. So but that's all I have for SmackDown.
I'm trying to fix this goddamn.
I missed it. I mean, you put this on here, but Melo attacking Miz. I guess was that backstage?
No, that was before the Ilja Dragunov match.
Oh, okay.
Because Miz came out and was like, "I'm tired of all these goddamn U.S. Open title matches and whatnot," and it looked like he was about to challenge.
Oh yeah, that's
right. That's when Melo came out
and Ilja came out. Yeah.
So
I thought it was about to be
Miz. Shout out. I'm really curious to see how that. Obviously, I think Melo ends up winning it, but wow, Jesus, this Notion doc is not letting me edit the way I want to edit right now. But yeah, I'm really curious to see how this moves Melo forward. I think obviously Miz is a great dance partner, and will build a great storyline. But yeah, as far as how that plays out, I'm like, okay, hopefully it works out well. So. Anything else that we have?
Nah, that is it. Woo! Excuse me.
I'm gonna start messing with this.
WrestleDream predictions.
Yes, WrestleDream predictions. That is probably tomorrow, tonight.
Yeah.
Tonight. A lot of matches on this card. About the usual 10, outside of not even including the 4 pre-show matches that they got. But let's go through it. First match we have on this card. I Quit match. Darby Allin, Jon Moxley.
Darby.
You think so?
Darby's not quitting.
Yeah, he could be passed out.
That's not quitting.
Okay, but he can't continue the match if he's passed out.
What's it? This is now we talking. This is rubbing against the rules of each other. You know what I'm saying? Just like we were just saying. Hell in a Cell should not end in a no contest. However, it has happened. So it's like that's dumb as shit. But I'm not ruling this a pass out. You lost. You have to say the words "I quit." That's the word. That's the way I quit.
I'm going to go Darby as well because again, Jon Moxley got the last one, and then obviously Darby just got jumped like recently in the being in jail. But again, I just don't see Darby. If Darby was to lose, he's not saying "I quit," but he will lose by being choked out.
Yeah,
maybe a bag gets put over his head and.
I think you'll have to you'll have to cut his fingers off. It'll be like legit torture. But that's what you'll have to do to Darby to make him quit.
Yeah.
Or immolate him or something. Like you have to do to him what he's been trying to do to all the Death Riders his entire time. So I mean Darby's just too crazy. So yeah, there's not a chance in hell to say I quit. I could have sworn this was a triple, like a 3-way tag team. Isn't this like a no? I thought it was a tornado, I don't know.
Nope, I'm looking at it right now. It's just a regular tag team match.
Okay.
There's a Tornado Trios match. That's what you're missing.
Yeah, where is that at?
That's the Hurt Syndicate.
Hurt Syndicate. Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, sure. All right. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking about. $500,000 again. See, it's funny because the Bucks just won their money and then lost their money. So, because Nick gambled it all away.
Yeah. Playing slots.
Yeah, on slots.
On slots.
I mean, with a high limit slots, bro. Like,
Degenerate.
man, that you're a sick puppy, man. Yeah. You're sick doing that. That's what I think it would be funnier. Like, I really like to continue with the momentum of Jurassic Express. I think I'm gonna go with Jurassic. Like, it's not even a momentum. I mean, both of those things work in storyline for them, where it's like because the Young Bucks should be on the come up again, but like I said, they just gambled it all away. So it's like, are we gonna get them winning money and then losing money all the time? What if that just becomes a gimmick? Nick just blowing the bag.
I feel like I kind of want to go with the Young Bucks, partly because of that, but I think Kenny ends up costing Jurassic Express. Yes.
Why?
Again, I'm just going back what I just saw on.
Kenny's the face, though. Kenny's not going to interrupt that match.
I think he wants to stop the Young Bucks from doing some smart shit. But
accidentally.
Yeah, ends up costing
sure.
Jurassic Express.
I mean, and then, Luchasaurus did just come back with the fact of, like, thinking similar to, like, Darby and Moxley. It's like, oh, yeah, you think this is this should be the done match for them. But it's like, they've had a trilogy now. So it's like, are we going to get more of Jurassic Express and the Young Bucks?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, Jurassic Express just got back together and they don't fuck with him. So I was like, I would imagine so. I'll sit on that some more, but I'm still thinking Jurassic Express right now for the I think the return of Jurassic Express is enough of a feel good to sustain a loss, but I just think it's redundant to have the Young Bucks win $1 million in a month and like lose it all. So it's like,
again, you're just seeing them degenerates first.
Yeah.
Was it Matt that lost it on slots or Nick?
It was Nick. Nick lost it on
Matt's
slots.
Gonna lose it next.
Yeah. No, that's funny. Exactly. Yeah, that might be the case. Jamie Hayter versus Tekla. This is hard for me to pick, honestly, because they've really wanted us, like on Collision, they really wanted us to care about, the rivalry that they've been building. And Jamie Hayter to me is like playing below her means right now. Obviously, the AEW women's title is like tied up, but she's a former AEW women's champion. So when she came back, I immediately was imagining like, oh, slot her at the top. But we're building and we're building. I think Tekla has established herself enough to take a loss. However, Tekla has the triangle of madness on her side.
Yeah.
Which is why I'm going to go with Tekla.
I will agree with that as well. Yeah. I think the numbers don't lie and they spell disaster for
it's as simple as that.
Jamie Hayter. Because all she has is her partner.
Shit, who's that? I'm trying to remember.
Is that Harley Cameron? No.
Harley Cameron's just besties with everybody.
Yeah. And Harley Cameron's really trying to be with Mercedes. I mean, she was like in the tag team match recently.
Yeah, she was. I can't. Yeah, because they went up against Megan Bain and Penelope Ford.
Yeah.
Who was it? I can't remember who the partner was.
But either way, there's more on Tekla's side.
Yeah.
Than there is with Jamie Hayter.
Yeah.
Hurt Syndicate demand. Hurt Syndicate.
Hurt Syndicate. This is over. It better be over.
I hope so.
And like you said, we just had the Hurt Syndicate just took their first loss. Bobby Shoulders was on the mat on Dynamite. So yeah, I'm going with Hurt Syndicate. TNT Championship, Kyle Fletcher and Mark Briscoe. Not a chance.
I would love Mark Briscoe to win this.
Kyle Fletcher's yeah, I'm sorry.
Maybe you get a returning MJF costing Mark Briscoe.
Now, this next one I think is very interesting right here. The AEW Tag Team Champion. It's Brodito versus the Don Callis family, but specifically the Japanese orientation of the Don Callis family. So Takeshita and Okada.
Yeah, this match is not about Brodito.
That's where
this match is about the split.
Yeah.
Of
the tension between these two.
Takeshita and Okada. And I wouldn't be surprised if Takeshita ends up leaving the Don Callis family after tonight.
I'm wondering, like, because the whole thing is can they
especially because he's New Japan World Champion. Didn't Takeshita win that this recently?
Champion of the week, yep.
Yeah. So.
But yeah, that's my thought is like, I mean, they've clearly been getting annoyed at each other,
Mhm.
just like with Mello and Miz when they were starting to put that, like Miz kept tagging himself in,
Yeah, yeah,
and that's exactly what Okada's been doing to Takeshita.
yeah.
So I think this could be the point where you actually get the full like explosion. Maybe they don't put hands on each other, but they'll be like they're gonna cost themselves the match.
Yeah.
Versus, actually Brodito beating them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So or maybe easy as this. Maybe it's like Okada's like, hey, I don't fight for tag team championships. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like walks out on him. You know what I'm saying? I could see something simple as that. Just walk out on Takeshita.
Mercedes versus
Mercedes.
TBA in an open challenge.
Mercedes.
So this match takes place in St. Louis. Do we know any women wrestlers from St. Louis? Who would you project to be the TBA?
St. Louis?
It never said that the wrestler was going to be from St. Louis.
Well, yeah, I know what you're saying. Yeah. Because she just said last week, any of the best wrestler from Florida.
Yeah, it was happened to be my girl. Yeah.
So she came.
Is it maybe Minister Kawa?
Sure. It could be anybody, but
Athena?
Texas.
I'm saying, nah.
Sure. It could be anybody.
I'm just trying to think, like, who could it be?
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm going Mercedes.
Yeah.
Man,
we doing all retentions? Yeah.
Chris Statlander, Tony Storm. Chris. That would be sad if she only held it for a month. Like, what was the point? I mean, I guess she won in a 4-way, but she pinned Tony.
Yeah, she did.
So you can't even say that, like, oh, you didn't even pin me to win the belt. It's like, no, I did.
Yeah, exactly.
So I'm gonna go with Chris. And then finally, AEW World Championship match, Hangman, Samoa Joe. I'm gonna go Hangman as well. Hangman is pretty much Cody at this point.
Is sad. It's funny because I think 8 matches is honestly perfect. Like this is where it should stay here. Like 8 matches for an AEW card.
Yeah.
But do not go. I mean, we've seen them with 12. So, and there's been even some of them with like 10.
Yeah.
10 and 11. So it's like 8 is really good.
And I see you just updated your pick for the
I did because we was at the
Bucks
end,
and Jurassic Express, and you switched from Jurassic Express to the Bucks. So
yeah, because we're still fresh with them, and as I said before, I was like, it is funny the thought of the Young Bucks just losing money. Yeah. So yeah, just put it on the board.
We're all set up for a tie.
Yeah.
Add that over. We don't even need to wait till the end of the show.
Because all right, so now that we are here, I mean, the most likely to flip this, I would still have Konosuke and Okada winning the tag team championships.
Yeah,
that's most likely because there's not a chance that Adam Page or Kyle Fletcher is losing. Next up would be Stat, but even Stat, like you said, that would be rough. If actually, hold on, maybe we just do because Tony's been so dominant. Maybe we just go back to the '90s and flip flop. Like. Well, no, that would just run up Tony's. Like Tony will come out of this rivalry like 7-time AEW Women's Champion. Like,
I would say my one if I was to switch would be Darby beating Jon Moxley.
Yeah,
and maybe Mercedes ends up losing.
Yeah. Cause I was thinking about the titles, but if you're talking about just straight up matches, I cannot obviously. Plus, you still got the fucking all of the Death Riders. You know what I'm saying? So,
but I can see Mercedes end up losing.
Yeah, I mean, depending. Obviously, we would have to know.
I don't know who would it be, and who would be the one, but I'm like, it could be. I would not be surprised, especially if you want to get Mercedes. I mean, she doesn't need to lose a belt to be in the World Championship, like the AEW Women's Championship, conversation.
Yeah.
But if you do want her to just be focused on that, like she could lose the TNT title, TBS title, and just focus her eyes on Chris Statlander.
For sure. And then, not for nothing. Oh, also, Mercedes, I don't know if you recall this, but she actually just passed. She's the longest reigning now. TBS champion. She passed Jade.
Yeah, of course. You want to get that off your record books.
Yeah, exactly. Right. Yeah. Because Jade is at 508 days.
Yeah.
And I think Mercedes, like, today is like 511.
Okay.
Or something like that. So, but yeah.
Ty, on the deck.
All right, which title? Yeah, like I said, I was thinking about the titles. So which title would you have changing?
Except Mercedes.
Oh yeah, you did. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
But yeah, because similarly to like when I was talking about Fraxium, right? They're so darn, they're so good, maximum chemistry. I was like, the only way you're beating them is either
Size.
bigger guys,
Yeah.
either size or storyline.
Yeah.
Mercedes is always undersized, so the only way you're beating her is storyline or surprise. Like say, like you could just fucking debut somebody.
Maybe
it's
it's
like
Megan Bain.
Yeah, I would think it's somebody like not on the roster that debuts, or like it would be like an Ilja Dragunov situation where it's like, oh shit, we love this person, we haven't seen him forever, you know.
Or
and
what about I mean,
Megan Bain could definitely do it. Though.
Technically, apparently, she removed all her mentions of AEW in her bio. Britt Baker?
If I'm Mercedes, there is not I'm turning into Mercedes Hogan. Like as much hate as she gets for that would be the one time I'd be like, absolutely the fuck not. That was the match where we were questioning if Mercedes was still a good wrestler.
Yeah.
Like, and it's like, no, that was just Britt Baker not giving her shit. The entire match. Britt Baker was fucking like being a sandbag to her the whole match. And it was like
maybe Queen Aminata.
Queen Aminata, I'm with that. That's fire.
Yeah.
Or like Tekla. You know, them
even
two.
Though she's in a match already.
True. But those two, like they've done.
Julia Hart.
Yeah, I'm a former champion.
Okay.
I need somebody bigger than that.
Nyla Rose.
I mean, well, yeah, sure.
Willow.
Storyline, that's there.
Okay.
She's beat Willow twice already. So I mean,
just throwing names out there.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. I mean, you talk about realistically, yeah, Willow's on that list. Aminata, she's out kicking her coverage on that. That's not I would like that to happen, but you know, that's enough on Mercedes though. Longest reigning TBS champion. Shout out to you, to the CEO. Right. And my current event / champion of the week. This is the Slinky from Toy Story. I never doubted you for a second. What title to Konosuke Takeshita, as you said earlier? Yes, winning at King of Professional Wrestling 35. He wins the IWGP World Heavyweight title. And also that trophy you see sitting there on the ground, that's the G1 Climax Championship. So he won the G1 in order for this title shot, and now he's the man. So this is also
going to do like a winner-take-all match for the AEW Unified title and the IWGP title, and then have, little face-off stare-downs with their hands up with each title holding belts and whatnot. Yeah. Who's the best wrestler in Japan? From Japan.
Yeah, that's exactly where we're going with it. That's
why they don't need the title belts, even though it would be interesting to see them like be tag team champions, but like have this animosity with one another because like they both feel like they're the best. So like it's an interesting dynamic, but bro, they don't need to lose their belts.
Yeah, they don't need
to get to the storyline. You don't need to have the tag team titles and they're both individual titles.
Because if they do, then I would be like, this is just. I would immediately say, "Oh shit!" Excuse me. We're extending out. We're slow burning this. Like we just turned down the heat on this explosion of these guys because we've already been getting, the context of them being at each other's throats. So now they're tag team champions, and they got to work together. Now this is another like 2 months, 3 months until they drop those titles, or until they get on each other's nerves enough to lose the titles, and now we get the singles match. So.
I mean, if you're trying to extend this to what their next pop-up show is probably, what's the one on New Year's?
Oh, at World's End, that one.
Yeah, is that their next pop-up?
There's got to be another one between.
There's no WWE pop-ups outside of Survivor Series.
Yeah,
you got the Saturday Night's Main Event. But speaking of Saturday Night's Main Event, I already talked about this on the pod, but obviously John Cena's last match is in here locally in DC. Pre-sale tickets went on sale on Wednesday, and then general public went on sale Friday. I looked at pre-sale tickets around 11:30. They went on sale around like 10 o'clock. I told you the lowest price that I could find was 400 section behind the entrance for about $260 to $280. And then lower bowl, the lowest I found was like $380, $350. That was pre-sale.
Yeah.
after pre-sale on general admissions, the cheapest ones I saw were $700 in the 400 section. Then it was like $800 and another in the 400 section. And everything else was no less than $1,200 for these John Cena match tickets.
Makes sense.
For a Saturday night's main event.
It's LeBron retiring, bro.
Crazy.
And just to put a tie and bow on that, so after WrestleDream tonight, we got Full Gear. And, you know, Full Gear is one of their big four. That's November 22nd.
Okay, and then you got World's End on New Year's.
Exactly. So that might be Takeshita and Okada might be a Full Gear match.
Yeah, I can see that.
It might just be a Full Gear.
That's why they don't need to have the tag team titles.
Mm-hmm.
I have a champion of the week that I didn't write down, but it's from Bring It On. Just bring it. It's like it's already been brought in. That line with like Kirsten Dunst and whatnot. To Tekla's promo. That was cheesy as fuck. Oh my god. I was like, what are you doing, girl?
Mm-hmm.
It was like you was definitely like biting. Like you was like the girls from the white girls from Bring It On, jocking like the goddamn Clovers.
Yeah.
They whole swag. I was like, when did you become this black girl here trying to talk with all this head shaking and bobbing and shit like that? I was just like, I was like, this is an incredibly cheesy promo. Like I was like, just that promo alone, I'm like, I don't really have faith in you winning this match. But beyond that, again, everything else we talked about, I was like, I'm still going with Tekla, but that was not good at all. And I think that maybe that's my first time hearing her like cut a promo, and I was like, this is not good.
Yeah,
not good at all. But like I said, it felt like Bring It On, where it's like Bring It On. It's like it's already been brought in.
It's funny because usually I say like Sky Blue do be talking. For them, like for the three of them, so that does make sense. I mean, her accent isn't that strong, but
there is a hint. I was like, you could tell she's from like Australia or something like that, or like
Austria.
Yeah. She's Austrian.
Austria.
Okay, but that's my champion of the week.
Yeah, just to tie a note on this reminds me, I watched the AEW interview with RJ City, and he was like, "So you're half Russian Jew and half, Austro-Germanian. So how's the Civil War in your body?" And she's like, "Yeah, we don't bring it up in Austria. We're not proud of that. Yeah. Like Austria was just down with the Nazi shit." So, but that was this week.
That is this week in wrestling. And that is the Wrestling Re-Up episode.
67.
Pickup. Whatever.
Yep.
I'm fumbling through my words. Episode 67 is a wrap.
Yeah, join us for 68. But until then, follow us here. Like, comment, subscribe. Follow us on our socials. Send us an email at thewrestlingreup@gmail.com. And catch us next week.
Peace, y'all.